What's up guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm gonna be showing you how I made my remix for the song Blue Lights by Jojo Smith. It was the first remix that I uploaded to SoundCloud as a free download, and it's currently sitting at more than 14,000 plays, which is crazy to me. So thank you guys so much for the support. Also, don't forget that if you want to dive deeper into how I made this remix, you can access this project file along with all the other ones from the past tutorials in my Patreon. So with that being said, let's jump right into it. Alright, so this is the project file. It's very simple. So as you can see, this is the radio mix that I uploaded to SoundCloud, and this is the extended mix that I uploaded as a free download in case you guys want to play it live in your DJ sets. So the first thing I like to do with these remixes is getting the a cappella vocal. For this one I couldn't find a version that was clean enough for my liking online, so I had to do it myself. To extract the vocal, I used this website called lalal.ai, I think that's how you pronounce it, and you basically just upload the original audio file and it will give you these different separation algorithms. For this remix I use the vocal and instrumental, but you can also use these ones to extract different elements from a song. So once we had that, this is how it sounds.
I wanna turn those blue lights into strobe lights.
So it's already very clean. I just added a tiny little bit of reverb, only at 5%, and some side chaining and some basic EQing. And that's all I did for it. Then I took a few chops for the intro and added some delay to it. I did the same effect. I took one part and I looped it over and over again, and I came up with this in the end. Also, this one has a lot more reverb. It's more of an atmospheric vocal. Then the vocal has a few little effects during the song. For example, this one. The way I did this one was basically I just took a part of the song and I placed it like this. And then the most important thing in this effect is the panning. You can see I panned this chop a little bit to the left, this one a bit to the right, this one a bit to the left, and then back to the middle. So once again, it sounds like this. And that's pretty much it for the vocal. I wanted to keep it very similar to the original. I only rearranged some of the parts of the vocal to fit better into the house remix, but that's pretty much it. Then the second element that I worked on was the main melody loop. It sounds like this. So for this one, I sampled the beginning of this video because I thought it gave me the cleanest version of that melody loop. And then I basically did some basic processing, some simple EQing to remove the low end. Then to remove some of the high end, I made it a little bit less wide, made everything under 200 Hertz mono, and some basic side chaining. There's certain parts of the song where I have a transgate effect. I already made a tutorial on this, and if it's something you like, make sure to go check it out. It sounds like this. So it's some basic auto panning, just increasing the amount. I also automated some of the width of the sample, so it gives it a bigger impact when it comes back into the drop. Then also during the intro of the song, I have this effect. And in context, it sounds like this.
I wanna turn those blue lights into strobe lights, not blue flashing.
The way I did this is I had some filtering opening up, and then for the glitch effect, I basically took this sample of the song and looped it like this, and then I basically came up with my own rhythm, and there was also some automation here on the width to make it create a bigger, wider effect when it comes back in. This is the automation that I did for the melody. As you can see, it opens up and then closes back down over and over again throughout the whole song to give it some interest and not make it as repetitive. So the next element I worked on was the bass. I used the same bass that I mentioned in my Funk It Up video. It's the John Summit operator bass preset that I took from one of his tutorials when he was still growing his YouTube channel. And the MIDI for the bass line is this one. Very simple. It just loops over and over again these two bars. And if I play it alongside with the main melody, it sounds like this. It basically follows the same chord progression: up, down, down, now up, down, down. The next element I worked on was the kick. It sounds like this. For this kick sound, I use an Evo Sounds sample for the body. And then for some higher top end, I use this kick that I sampled from one of Rarden's remixes on the song Diamonds by Rihanna. And I just took the top end. Normally it would sound like this, but I just wanted that top end to layer with this one, and it sounds like this. Then throughout the song, I have this filtering that occurs, for example, here. So it filters all the low end. This is in the intro. And then when the first verse comes in, it sounds like this. Also in this project, I marked the filtering with a different color for the MIDI. So it gives me a good idea of where the filtering is happening. For example, here we have it too during the build-up, which displays alongside with the snare. Then the next sound that I worked on was the clap. Sounds like this. It's once again an Evo Sound sample, and I just made it shorter. Normally it was like this, and I just made it snappier. Then we have the main hi-hat. Once again, Evo Sound sample, and made it snappier. And I also used some transient shaper to give it a little bit more punch. Then I came up with this hi-hat shuffle sound. And if I play it alongside with the other hi-hat, once again, then we have this other percussion sound that I created with the drum rack. So those three together sound like this. Then I took this weird sounding loop and I put the transients to 10 to make it shorter and snappier. And then I put a vocoder on it to give me some more higher frequencies. Then I added this tambourine with some basic side chaining and some panning. Then I added this groove loop, some shakers. And in the second drop, I added another layer of shakers and some rides, which really helps to fill up the energy in the second part of the second drop. Something I did in this song is I included a lot of snare rolls. They sound like this, or for example here. I use them to transition between sections in the song, and it's just a standard 909 snare sound. For this one, I automate the release, especially in the build-up. So at first it's a shorter sound, and then as the build-up continues, the sound becomes longer and it brings out those higher frequencies that the 909 snare has, and it sort of acts almost like a white noise riser, but it's already built within the same sample. So in my opinion, it sounds more organic. Then we have this crash sample, which also plays along with the snare rolls. And before the second drop, they play this pattern. Then the next effect I added was this riser sound. Really simple, and it just plays once during the whole song. And then I added this white noise impact that again plays at the drop and then helps transition from the first drop into the break, for example here. And that's pretty much it for this one. There's very few elements, but in my opinion, they work really great to fill up the space and make it sound more complex than it is. So I will play the song from the beginning and I will skip through it so we can listen to the different little parts that I showed you. So this is what the intro sounds like.
Sitting on the
Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for this one. I hope you learned something new, or at least had some fun watching the video. So if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and consider subscribing for more videos. If there's anything that I mentioned in this video that you want me to cover in more depth, make sure to let me know by leaving a comment. And once again, if you want to get the stems and the project file, make sure to go check out the Patreon using the first link in the description. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.